Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Oh, wait, that means we're live. Look at that. Yeah, as usual, there's no dink. Thanks a lot, YouTube.
Dink.
The fucking show you are about to watch contains some fucking graphic adult content that a lot of you pussies will get offended by. The show is intended for adults with a fucking sense of humor. They like to say words like shit, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, ass, twat, balls, dick, prick, and butthole. So if that offends you, just leave now and fuck off. If the scenes and pictures that we talk about are offensive to you, eat a dick. We didn't make the movie. We are reviewing it. Calm the fuck down, Frog Tips. Now that you have properly fucking warned, sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up and enjoy the show. Fuck!
Bigfoot, undisputedly the world's most entertaining cryptid. Join the Reverend Jeff Kelly and your old pal Wes as they discuss the best and worst the media has to offer. Movies, books, TV shows, commercials, all on Bigfoot Entertainment Weekly.
Yeah, that's right, people. Part 3 of our 3-part roundup on the Bigfoot Files. This week, Vetboy and Dr. Bear DNA head off to Russia. Mother Russia. In Mother Russia, Bigfoot, screw you. No, they're looking for the Almasty. That's right. The crazy-ass Bigfoot wild man thing. We'll talk about that as we go along. But I got to say, right from the very beginning, the most disrespectful things are done in this video ever, and I cannot condone any of them. And as we get through to that, I'm going to point that shit out. But as usual, we have our old pal Wes Losner of Lounge.
He got it. Woo!
And I knew you were listening for it, too. Your old pal Wes of WesLosner.com. How you doing, buddy?
Hello. Pretty soon I will just be Wes Losner. Not of WesLosner.com, but anyways. How's everybody doing tonight?
We'll figure something else to sponsor. Hey, don't forget to go over to facebook.com/Angels Dust Seasonings. Seasoning with 1G, no S, and get your spices for everything to make it, everything it touches, it makes better. I mean, including watermelon, so I've heard. I haven't got my samples in yet, so I can't quite endorse it, but I'm working on it. All right, pal. So here we are, part 3 of the Bigfoot Files. We've got the Willy Wonka, Uncle Charlie, or Grandpa and Charlie are off on an adventure to Russia to check out the Almasty. And I got to tell you, holy shit, I'm tired of these guys already. Thank God this is the last part of it. This is like the 4th one we've done out of the last 5 weeks with these 2 shitheads in charge.
I'm going to put money on it that they go to Australia and do the yowie.
It must be some kind of a special bear. Let's go.
It's an Australian bear.
It's an Australian bear. It's the Tasmanian devil. It's the Tasmanian tiger. That's what the yowie is. I watched
a movie about the Tasmanian tiger too the other day.
Well, you know, they've been chasing the Tasmanian tiger around for years. They're still not even sure that they're extinct. They're extinct as far as the world is concerned because nobody can find one to take a picture of, as much as Bigfoot doesn't exist because we can't find one to take a picture of. But they very well could be still out there, just like Bigfoot's around here.
Yeah, anyway. William Dafoe found one.
That's right.
Anyways, so like the first 2 episodes and the Yeti or Not before that and everything, you get the Vet Douche intro and he does the same thing. And they're just
We're
on
a quest for knowledge, and Dr. Sykes promises that he will find the source to any DNA we bring him.
It translated is, these wanker Americans think there's a giant hairy ape, and I'm here to rub it in their face with this smart prick over here. So basically, that's the run through. Then they do the run through of the whole episode, and like the little bits and pieces.
In this episode, we dig up and desecrate their graves. We take the spit of those desecrated grave ancestors and test them to see if there's some kind of monster. On this episode of the Bigfoot Files.
Fucker Files. Anyway, so yeah, you find out that, oh wait, first, okay, we've gone in the air, we've gone on land. Now we've got douche on a boat.
Douche on a boat.
Douche on a boat is rowing away, and of course, a minute and 30-something seconds in, he can't fucking help but say bear. So he fucking, basically tells you, hey, it's gonna be about bears again. But really, it's not when you find out. I mean, they do mention bear, but, and they get fucking anxious when they do, but yeah, it's not so much that way. So anyways, they give you the description of the Almasty. And you find out that translated means wild man, and then they give a description of what they think the Almasty is, because they don't necessarily think it's like a Bigfoot. They think it's more Neanderthal-like, and
some
they
kind
give you that
of
whole
throwback.
And in my notes, you know what? I gotta admit, the box of nerds that I was eating were a lot more
entertaining.
So I don't know if that's why I wrote rainbow colored right here, but something was rainbow colored in this fucking documentary. See, I watched this shit literally 3 hours ago, and I don't remember.
Yeah, I watched it I finished it up 20 minutes before you did, and I don't remember either. So
yeah, something was rainbow. Anyways,
okay.
So then you get the fucking flashing lights, you get the drum roll, you get the lights down the hall, and just that old, dancing fucking show in the mornings. This fool Dr. Sykes comes bouncing out yo, I'm Dr. Sykes and I'm dope. And basically they give his little preview, each one it gets more flashy, and he's just disco nights kind of outfit shit. It was crazy. So after his whole introduction and everything, they are going to meet up with, now I hope I got this right, Moscow's Relic Hominid Society, which is with three
which
guys.
Is one guy. One guy, actually. One guy. It's one guy, but three guys show up.
Yeah.
That's one guy.
That's very true. So then once you start learning about these guys, they give you their whole theory that it's Neanderthal and everything like that, and how it could be a branch off of Neanderthal.
Kip is head of the American River Bigfoot Society here in Western Sacramento.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. There's exactly one member, just like there is in the Relic Russian Society.
Oh, we love you, Kip.
Oh, we love our buddy Kip. He's a baller, that's for sure.
Yeah, the selfie baller. So then right after that whole Neanderthal theory, you get this little camera cutaway to fucking Dr. Douche, the vet, and he's just I can't wait to rub it in all their faces that this shit is a bear. Fuck y'all. And he has that little moment where he's talking, but that's what I heard.
Right.
And so after that, they show that they're trying to get into the border of this place called Arcazia or some shit. Arcazia? I don't know.
Yeah, I speak a little bit of Russian, but I can't pronounce places.
Yeah.
There's upside down threes in there. I don't know how that works. Not exactly how to pronounce. I'm not sure how to pronounce a sideways Q or an upside down three. A backwards E, I figured out once in a while. But past that, I'm kind of screwed.
So they're at the border, and they have problems trying to get from, I guess, Moscow to this place, or Russia to that place, and everything. And it took them 6 fucking hours to fucking get, because I guess they don't like British people there or some bullshit. Because
the British Empire's taking over every friggin' place that's ever landed on its shores. Do you want to British wander into your country? Fuck no.
I guess not. So then that's when they break into the story of Zana.
Poor Zana.
Whatever. Zana.
That poor girl.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. They didn't
speak the language. Story. It's the stranger in a strange land. Can you imagine literally being stripped from wherever the hell you were. They weren't sure whether she was some kind of a tribe living in the mountains that just didn't interact with white people, or she was brought up as a slave. But whatever the case was, she ain't speaking the language, no speaking the language at all. And they treated her like a friggin' monster. Oh my God, go on, Wes. I just,
yeah.
the poor
So
story
basically,
of Zana
that's
is just
the story that they give you right there, and
they stole her children from her because the first one died and they blamed her for fucking like drowning it in the river or some shit. So after that, every time she gave birth, they stole the babies from her. And it was like, well, who's laying down with the monster? Yeah, I was say, who's laying down with the monster to make her pregnant? Seriously. Hey, George, let's get drunk and go bang the Neanderthal. What do you think? I bet you he'd let us have her for a nickel. I bet you. Come on, let's go. Oh my God, dude.
yeah. So
the story just gets worse and worse.
Yeah. On a lighter note, douche in a truck. So we get douche in this big ass like fucking dump truck. I don't know what the fuck that guy was driving, but his name was Dimitri. I want to say his last name was Smirnoff, but maybe I was just like wanting to say it.
Yakov Smirnoff.
Yeah. But so they go with that dude to a place. I'm gonna fuck it up again, but Tikina or Takina or whatever the fuck. I wrote it down. You know.
Is that the one with the sideways W and the extra Q?
I don't know. I read the English part, so it just was like Tiki.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Caucasus Mountains is where we're looking to get into.
Yeah. So they give the what the fuck are they talking about? Oh yeah, so they give the Russian backstory, like what was going on in Russia and all this shit that was going down, and they give that story of Zana and like the dark part of her story, you know, like in their stuff, like because of all, like basically what you said. I mean, she got raped, she had 4 kids, and they were all rape babies, you know, like, and they put her in a cage and all kind of shit.
Eventually, they taught her to not kill her babies, wear some clothes, and be able to hang out inside the house or some shit. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck?
And Zana, no bitey.
No bitey. No light the curtains on fire. No killing us in our sleep.
We get to someone who, like, me and Rev just started that conversation before we started this show, and his name's Dr. Igor Burtsev, and he's a great guy.
Okay, for you people who are not sure who Frog Tits is, I mean, Igor Burtsev is. He was the one that was on the Nat Geo special out at the Carter Ranch when they were talking about Fox coming and getting garlic from the back porch, like knocking on the door, and Janice coming out. Yeah, and how he would,
with that batshit crazy lady.
Right, and he imitated how the deer, how the Bigfoot would hunt and smash the deer's neck and its back together like this. And I'm thinking to myself, you've never seen this. Do you know how much of an effort it would take to break a deer in half versus just like bite the shit out of its neck? Okay, anyhow, that's the guy. So now he's the relic hominoid historical society member in Russia that's lead investigating on the excuse me.
Exactly.
So that was rude as hell. I've been sick for a week, so screw it.
So
y'all are bound to hear all kind of flatulence in this damn show.
If you haven't already.
That's right.
You know, so Igor or whatever, he gives a darker story of Zana and starts talking about her, and then he gives a description about her.
Because he wants her. He needs her to be a monster. He needs her to be some kind of a monster. Because if she's not a monster, then they did this to a human being. And then what they did to the human being's son is all that much worse. So he needs her to be some kind of a demonic creature and not quite human, so it makes it all okay. So he paints this just nasty, dark, unhuman-like picture of poor Zana.
Yeah. And so then that Dmitry Vodka guy, whatever the fuck his name was, he, like, through time had made the family tree of Zana. And, like, the story, he gave us fucking, he showed it, and he was giving little descriptions of,
it was all the way out.
people.
Yeah, there was 100 people in the list. I mean, they literally had mapped it out all the way back to where they stole the first child from Zana, I guess. I mean, that's just creepy.
Yeah, so then...
Hey, here's your monster grandma! I mean...
They go to his, fucking Zana's great-great-grandfather and
grandson.
Grandson, yeah, right. Duh. They went back in time.
Yeah, they found the creatures in the mountains, and
yeah, so they went and fucking. Here's the guy. I want to say it again. They went to the fucking great grandkids. There's extra greats in there. You fill them in yourself. I'm fucking it up. But they go and they get some samples, DNA and everything like that, right? So they send that to Sykes, the Wonder Boy, and
because Sykes is going to test these for monster DNA of some kind. I mean, these are living people. I mean, the poor guy's lost his eye to the war with Georgia, and I'm like, okay, Mr. Political Douche Vet, what's that got to do with fucking monster DNA testing here? The guy's effed up. We get it. He lives in freaking crazy ass Caucasus Mountains, Russia.
And you notice, like, when they do those intros on these people, they build them up like they're fucking warriors, like they're coming out of the box, and like they're standing there like, yes, I'm a descendant, and they just swabbed my cheek. Like they fucking had this epic fucking entrance, and it's like, really, just got your cheek swabbed.
I've been crapping myself, drinking myself silly, these people think I'm a monster. What? Yeah. They don't want to swab my cheek to see if I'm a monster.
So speaking of monsters, good old Dr. Bertsev, Igor, or whatever, goes and digs up Quit's skull.
Oh God!
I forget what time. This is like years back.
Yeah, Igor has been in possession of Quit's skull. So, and they tell the story of it. He's like, yeah. So I located the grave, and well, then we excavated it, and well, I only exhumed the skull, and Douche Vet pulls this skull out of a box and starts just gazing into its eyes and talking about it as the most. Dude,
you start hearing music.
You are the most. That's human fucking remains, you piece of shit. You don't gaze into the skull of the. He's not your conquered fucking warrior enemy mother flipper. Oh my God, you piece. And you talk about us and guns? Go fuck yourself, Mr. Douche Vet. Oh God.
So speaking of heaven,
it was like Hamlet. It was literally like he was like a scene from Hamlet, sitting there with this friggin' skull in his hand. Yes. I will finally drink the blood of my enemy from his skull. I mean, that's literally what it was like. It was so, oh God, I'm going to have sex with the ear later.
Why do we turn into pirates?
Because I'm three-legged Kelly.
All right, so to like kill that whole like negativeness, douche in a boat.
Douche in a boat.
And he's in a fast boat this time, and he's going to Siberia. Good old Siberia, because there I am gonna fuck this name up, but we've all seen the video, the Kungushev video of the fucking trackway,
with the little kids, yeah.
Well, not the three little boys, but the family that found those big ass tracks. And now I want to say it's suspect because I don't know if it was their tracks, but when you're watching this, about halfway through, you could see that a lot of those big steps look like double steps, and then there's this little round kind of fucking smaller little print that's going alongside of these. You know what I'm saying?
As though it's a well beaten down game trail. I mean, lots of things use that trail. They didn't have to bushwhack it. They weren't out there with a machete cutting stuff out of their way. I mean, large animals move down that pathway a lot.
Yeah. So then they go to the area of the sighting after, of course, all the snow is going. Because this video, it's snowy, and well, the time they go to see it, and Dr. Douche goes to talk to him and everything. It's all grass, so they show him the route that the thing went and all that, and then they give the dude hairs, and I mean Dr. Evans or whatever the fuck his name is. They give him some hairs to send to fucking Sykes and shit. So then they get Igor, and he busts like Almasty speech and like oh. Yeah, so he's doing that shit.
Dude, that's a grouse in heat, bro. That is not like a hominid sound. All right.
He was dead serious. He was dead serious, and he's looking at
like
and
my
Mark
Evans
Evans.
trying to start at about 3 a.m. on a cold ass winter night.
I was gonna say something really bad right there, but no. I held myself because I'm a gentleman. Anyway, so
you held yourself. I touched myself because I'm a gentleman. I don't wave it around because I'm a gentleman.
So, all right. So when he's doing
that's it. We're gonna deem this one the I touched myself episode.
So let's forget about all that. And when fucking Dr. Douche is looking at this fool make those noises, his face just lights up like he's so fucking happy but shocked at the same time. He's like, finally, I knew it. This guy's full of shit. Because then he says, so what did you say to me? And fucking Dr. Birdsiff says, oh, it's like talking. I was saying something about a young child and stuff like that. Like,
right, as though they
knows the language.
Yeah, has deciphered the friggin' language. I did hear that about Mark Evans. I read it somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where I read it, but I did. I know I read it somewhere on the internet. That's one of those things. That's
so
one of those things.
After that whole scene, Birdsiff basically.
Hey, this would be a good time to take a break and let's see who's out in the podcast.
Before this fucking cannonball that this fucking drops.
Right. So let's see who's hanging out here in the live lounge chat tonight. Rodney Dupree in the place
to be.
Boy, first up tonight, Rock City Marco, followed by Frank Smith, Squatchy Inc. checking in like he should be. Let's see here, Star Shine. We're gonna get that interview whether you like it or not. One of these days. Let's see here. Who else is out there? Oh boy, there's Frankie Smith again. You're in there a lot. Boy, y'all talk a lot. I know we go through this. Color Wilmus. That's right. How you doing, man? Let's see here. Cameron Young's checking in. B. Lynn is out there. How you doing, darling? Glad you could join us as well. Let's see here. Who else is floating around out there? I saw some other names that I hadn't seen before. Kevin K. That's right. There's a new name
Kevin
out
K.
there. That's right.
I wonder
Midnight Hellstrom. Young man,
it's
it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. You should be in bed by now. Sorry. Let's see here. Who else is out there? Boy, let's see. There's
that one guy.
That one guy. Yeah, the Life and Times of JCM finally shows up. That's right. Jim and Moore, our Jesus Christ of Monterey Bay. I don't know why we continue
Monterey
to do that, but
for dinner.
Monterey chicken. Boy, we had General So's, and that was some damn good stuff. Dick Jones is in the house. How you doing there, Dick?
Dick Jones.
That's right. Getting to the bottom of this list. Scott Dower's checking in for us. How you doing there, Frog Tits? Dean Cooper, our quasi theorist, is checking in as well.
How you doing, Frog Tits? What's up, Dean?
Okay, and that really puts it. Who's in the lounge tonight? So, if you want to hear your name, make sure you make a comment. Otherwise, we don't know you out there. Let's wrap this last part up there, genius boy. Wow. So now we're off to middle of Nowheresburg.
first, we're still in that conversation. We're still in that moment of fucking Bearfucker looking at Igor like he's El Dorado. And then Brixif drops the fucking woo bomb on him and says that they have paranormal abilities and are telepathic.
Yeah.
So he drops all that shit, all his credibility, all his hard work, and just like Kobe throwing it and swishing it in the net, there goes Igor's fucking whole life wasted on one statement, basically saying that they are woo. And you get fucking Dr. Douche just like, oh, stick a fork in me. I'm done. I'm done. This fucker. I can't wait to rub it in his face. You know, so they have that whole scene. And I know that there's going to be some little woo fucker in the comment boards right now down here, you know, going, fucking woo, 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 woo. But guess what? They're not. So fuck you. So right after that,
with a jackass the other day about cloaking Bigfoot, and I was like, "Well, tell me, if a hair falls out of a cloaked Bigfoot, does it stay cloaked? Does each individual hair have its own cloaking device? How exactly does that work?"
Oh, I don't even know where to start. You know, so right after that, they show the three boys footage. I don't even know how to fucking pronounce their names, and I won't even start. So the three kids, they show their video, and they're following this trail, and then they see a fucking dark figure, and it books out and shit like that. I think it's a hoax, but everybody else seems to think it's real. And then, like, right after they show this footage, they meet up with a literal fucking giant. And they prove giants are real, and this guy comes in, and he looks like he's just like
a fucking Neanderthal.
Damn, dude, like, yeah, I wouldn't even want to fucking go up and shake the dude's hands.
Dude, you cover that guy in animal hides, give him a fucking spear and some furry fucking boots, walking around out there in the snow where those kids were, and I'm running the fuck away. I mean, that's just the way it is.
If I see him get out of that fucking limo, I'm running away. I'm just like, whoa, it shouldn't be here. It's a monster. Yeah,
Sweetheart, shoot him.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Dude,
we're not even thinking
about that out there in the freaking Sierras. Right. Oh yeah, they ain't right. Pow! Sorry about your luck, brother.
Oh, you used to be a boxer. Oh shit.
Well, yeah. Well, maybe you shouldn't wear furs out here.
I thought you were a bear in a man suit. So they go, and the giant guy goes and interviews the boys and everything, and then the giant dude, I'm sorry for calling him a giant, but fuck, man, that's what I would think they'd look like. You know, I know he's only 7 foot, and there's way taller people. I mean, fuck, my dad's a giant to me, but you know, that dude, he looks gigantic to everyone. So I'm going with that. They interview the boys, and he gives the whole, yeah, that's definitely not a bear. You know, so they have this whole little joke, and Igor's like tightening his tie. He's like, fuck you, Mark Evans, not a bear. So then they have this whole little thing and where they're like telling the kids not to swear and shit. And you could tell that giant squeezed each of their hands a little bit. Yeah.
Read books and don't swear.
You saw the look in the kids' eyes like, fuck.
Yeah. You read books, you'll be good boys. You'll not swear no more.
Yeah, because he says, I'm coming back.
I'm going to come back to check. If your parents telling me you swear and you be bad, I kill you. I kill you dead, right where you stand.
Like, right as that scene's ending, I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but the way the lights started like sparkling, and you get that whole disco music coming in, and it's results day, and Dr. Sykes comes out like, woohoo! Yeah. So
now, hang on though. Before we go past that part, the big Russian boxer guy, he was just talking about them having tribes of people who live in the mountains nearby that don't have any contact with city dwelling types of people who live off of the land and live in the forests. And he was just talking about like decades, not thousands of years ago. You feel me? So that very well could be a situation where one of them people just ventured way too freaking far and got lost.
Yeah. And saw some little kids cussing.
Well,
like,
the kids
"Whoa."
weren't cussing. The kids weren't cussing until they saw that thing. I think I'd be cussing too if it was for real. But the tracks that they were following, though, were definitely snowshoe hair. They weren't whatever that thing was up there. They were definitely snowshoe hair. It was just the ass and the back feet, and it looked like a footprint. Yeah, just bounding from spot to spot in a direct line. But you could tell where the back feet landed side by side. At least I could. I tracked snowshoe hair in the snow a lot. So that was snowshoe hair was what the tracks were. But.
So after the flashy intro for Sykes, and he comes in, and then you get the whole
out of the Apollo
Creed.
Creed
In Moscow, and everything.
That's right.
You get the run through on all the results, and like they do it fast, so you just gotta keep up. I think 2 were a horse, 1 was a cow, 1 was a piece of glass. I don't know who got a piece of glass and said, "Hey, I'm gonna turn this in. This is hair." But it was probably one of the people that Igor said.
Who processed it as a piece of glass? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. But so then the Kung Fu Chevy or whatever the fuck that video was, that ended up being a brown bear, and then that one fucking pissed Igor Burtsov off, and he was like,
"He's not a bear. He's not a bear."
Yeah, that must have been my fault. I gave you bad sample or something. Yeah, he starts going off in Bigfoot and just starts cussing in fucking Yeti, and he's just mad. And I think some of the other samples were like a fucking, I don't even know, like it was like some other kind of bear, a cat, and fucking a gummy bear or some bullshit. I don't know. And then you get the whole, okay, we got to break this to the fucking one guy society or whatever the fuck, that Zana wasn't a Neanderthal at all.
Yeah. Sorry.
They only, but she did have Neanderthal DNA.
Yeah, at like 2.2%. Yeah. Like any other.
Technically.
No, not technically. Technically, she was 100% Homo sapien. She was just a poor black slave that didn't speak the language, that they treated like a monster. Let the friggin' locals breed with her to produce children. Stole those children from her, and then dug up the ancestor and stole his friggin' skull right out of his grave. That's what they found out in this episode.
Yeah, speaking of fucked up shit like that. Now, this is going to sound horrible, but you guys are used to me, all right? We've been calling black people, and the science name that fucking Dr. Wizard fucking of Oz Sykes gives them is Sub-Saharan African.
Right, yeah, Sub-Saharan African.
Is that what we're supposed to be calling y'all?
No, because they're not all Sub-Saharan African. Some of them are North Saharan African, so that doesn't even work.
That's just me and my uneducated brain, people. I'm just
that's
trying
one of
to
the
figure
big
out,
things
like,
I've been
is that
yelling
really
at
the
people
fucking
lately.
name?
I'm still trying to figure out who these white people are. Are these white European people, or are these white Scandinavian people, or are these white Caucasus people? Are these, I'm still trying to figure out which particular white people. Yeah.
Well, I guess
they don't know the differences. Is it? I guess all white people look alike. Is that how that works?
That's
anyhow,
basically it.
So if you were black in the Caucasus Mountains, you were a monster.
We already gotta stop because Beyonce is probably already sending troops.
That's it. We've gone.
But so then,
I'm sorry, people.
So then you get the
not a political show.
You get the Sub-Saharan fucking Black African slave theory on what could have migrated up and everything. And what I mean by what is not just I'm stopping. Anyway, so fucking they talk about it could possibly be ancient Sub-Saharan African and not just.
Yeah. Just like his special bear theory, right? He's a jackass.
So
he's proven that his DNA ultra super cool shit is just ridiculously overpriced Lego kit. He hasn't gotten anything right in any of the things he's actually
was just
said.
A village of fucking rapist racists that
black lady, know what black people look like. Right.
Yeah, and then treated her like a fucking monster. And then fucking
and Dr. Sykes wants to investigate that and test that for DNA because that's a possible thing. That's a possible thing to Dr. Sykes in his brain that black lady was a monster and he's going to prove it. What the fuck? I'm sorry.
A hybrid bear.
It's the special bear.
So then
No, Mia, Monster Man up there, Monkey Man. There's still yes, there's a bear, but there's still the Monkey Man. He's up there.
Yeah.
Tried to prove it was just a bear, but still wrong.
At the end, you get Dr. Douche, and he's sitting in that same area where he goes and just talks to the video like this, like, people, let me get close to you so you can fucking understand what I'm saying.
Let me play Mr. Rogers.
And he's reflecting on his journey, and he's showing drama, what he in his head probably told him, but they were like, "Oh, Evans, hey, we can't put that." But like basically little scenes of him putting pies in all the people's faces that he proved wrong, and he's just bear-shaped pies. And he's fucking smashing them, and he's showing the first episode we did the Yeti, and we went to these people and we smashed them in the face with bear. Then we went to America and we fucking showed those Yanks and gave them a whole bunch of fucking bear. And I think one of those was a fucking frog. I don't even remember that episode, but
porcupine.
Yeah, so he's reflecting, and then he goes. And really, we owe it all to fucking the fabulous wizard, Dr. Sykes. And he gives, Sykes a virtual pat on the back, a little rub on the butt cheek, the left one, because that's the one he was sitting next to. And just, it's highly detailed, but I'm not saying I know it. It's my paranormal abilities, people, because I'm not of this earth. But anyway, so he smacks his little butt and says, "Go Sykes." But you find out in Yeti or Not that he comes out and is like, here's a pie for Sykes, because, Sykes didn't have a special bear at all. So
right, he even had a pie for Sykes.
The moral of the story is,
don't do business with Mark Evans. He'll throw a pie in your face.
Yeah, and he'll rub it in your face, and then he'll go on the BBC, and then he'll get a deal with Discovery Channel. Just to fucking tell that shit again, and just have that smug little smile in his face when he's fucking telling everybody, and they're all fucking tearing up, and Igor's fucking cussing in Yeti and fucking smashing tables, and it's all just this fucking veterinary prick from Britain, and it's like, what the fuck even gathered his fucking interest in this shit? Because he doesn't believe at all. He just is like, fuck Americans, they're crazy. That's what you get from him. Like, you want to see a racist white person, I would say that fool's probably. I say this shit about people, and I'm horrible, but he's a prick, people. He's a prick.
Well, there you have it.
Bears.
Yeah, but your old pal Wes says Mark Evans a bear fucking prick. I heard it on the internet, so it might not be true. Ah, God. The only thing I can say about the guy is the fact that he's got some balls. I mean, he goes 12,000 feet. He goes to these friggin' locations. He's walking around and he's hiking 6 miles, 8 miles, 10 miles in these locations where my fat ass would need like a stroller. Somebody'd have to be pushing me around in these locations because I sure as fuck couldn't get around them. I totally say kudos for doing that. But then I've seen him do dumb shit like handle an alligator and get his face bit off. That I can only say is got what you deserve, dumbass. Don't put an alligator mouth in your face. That? Oh, no, it was some other show. I even made comment of it. But yeah.
People are still paying this guy to do shit? Oh, my God.
Garden Channel and Channel 4 just absolutely loves
the gardener. That makes sense.
Yeah, he's from the Garden Channel. That's where they picked him up. Dr. Vet Evans, douche knuckle. Douche in a plane, douche in a car.
What does a vet have to do with the fucking garden?
Who knows, dude? They're British, okay? They finally left the European Union, thank God. But, hey, whatever. Now you need to get your guns back. That's your next step. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Let's Not Get Politically Correct on the Bigfoot Entertainment Weekly show. When the series came out, I enjoyed the Bigfoot Files. I really did. All three of them, I watched them to the very end, hoping that there would really be something there. I know information based around this DNA test that we're going on and Dr. Sykes personally that I will never disclose on the air to anyone. But if you ever want to know privately what I think, just let me know, and I will be glad to tell you what some of the comments this jackass has actually made in private. Anyhow, that's going to do it for Bigfoot Entertainment Weekly this week. You got any final thoughts there, Mr. Losner of WesLosner.com?
Yeah, you guys should all go buy a painting right now.
Before it's too late. That's right.
Because you will not be able to very soon.
That's right. And they only come around once. So for your old pal Wes, WesLosner.com, I'm your host, the Reverend Jeff Kelly. Join us Wednesday night for the Squatchers Lounge podcast as we talk about the Honey Island Swamp Monster. That's right. Is there a swamp Bigfoot out there? I've seen one. Very well could be more.
Wasn't the Honey Island one the 3-toed fucking thing?
It was.
And M.K. Davis did a movie.
Verified it on 17 points.
M.K. Davis.
Like Facebook.
I too fuck bears.
There was a show just on the Destination Truth channel today about the Honey Island Swamp Monster. I watched it, actually. It's not so much that I believe in that story, but stories of Bigfoot in the swamp is more what we'll be focusing on. That's right. 8 p.m. Wednesday night. YouTube.com/SLounge Podcast.